But yeah, for me, I just was like, you know what? I should have ended the conversation and not engaged in it once I realized what was being attempted. And, you know, I got sucked into it.
And I'm definitely not the favorite ex's best friend.
No. Some things happened recently. You're not going to see it on a future episode. Yeah. Cameras were not rolling. I am so frustrated because I truly, truly, truly wanted to have an amicable divorce.
You did tell me that.
Like, and things just keep happening that I'm like, I will push back. Yeah. You don't get to call my friends the things that you call my friends, and I will push back. I'm probably not the favorite ex anymore. Who is that? TikTok? Somebody on TikTok who just asked. I'm probably not. No, for my part of the conversation, I'm actually just disappointed in myself, honestly, because I was falling back into trauma responses and how I reacted and allowed a conversation to continue when I should have just been like, you know what? I'm done. We're not talking about this. So Salty Birch's TikTok is asking what happened recently. It was a conversation that I'm not proud of, that I'm also not going to share. But it just made me realize that, actually, I'll tell this part of it. It's not part of the conversation. It's just the emotion involved in it, which was I allowed myself to fall back into trauma.
Oh, you thought the Sister Wives drama was slowing down? Think again. Meri Brown just hopped on Instagram Live and spilled some serious tea about Kody and Robyn, stuff that will not be airing on TV. And trust me, it's messy. Apparently just a couple of days ago, Meri and Kody got into yet another argument, and this time, it was the final straw for her. She straight up said this fight proved that she cannot have an amicable relationship with him, no matter how hard she tries. So, what set it off? While she didn't explicitly say, it sure sounds like it had something to do with Kody's comments about her friend Jen on the show. Whatever was said, it left Meri absolutely furious. And before she knew it, she was sucked into a back and forth with Kody, something she clearly regrets. But here's where it gets even juicier. Meri isn't just distancing herself from Kody. She's making it crystal clear that she's done with both Kody and Robyn for good. No more teams, no more trying to make things work. She's out. And if that wasn't enough, she also dropped another bombshell. This fight wasn't just about words. It was about control. She outright admitted that Kody was trying to drag her into an argument, that he was deliberately provoking her, and that she ended up having a trauma response. If that doesn't scream emotional manipulation, I don't know what does. Kody is out here playing mind games, and Meri is finally seeing it for what it is. Let's be real, we've all been side-eyeing his behavior for years, and now Meri is basically confirming what many fans suspected. Kody is not safe for her. Oh, but we're not done yet. Viewers also asked Meri about Kody's shady comments regarding money. Remember when he basically admitted he was only keeping her around for financial reasons? Well, she made it clear that she knows exactly what he said. And her response? Let's just say, it's got people talking.
Somebody's asking, do you remember the episode that Kody said he was keeping you around because he needed your money?
Did he really say that?
I don't remember that. I also don't watch all the episodes. Honestly, I watch the part that I need to worry about, and sometimes I don't like to worry about that. So
they're saying he said it, he implied it. Some people are saying they never heard
I know
it. They're going to find the clip.
I know he implied it, and I know he said some not nice things, but like whatever. It is what it is. I can only distance myself from somebody who doesn't interact in a way that I align with. And I did not distance myself very well the other day. And it just, honestly, it was just a wake-up call for me to be like, you know what? You don't need to try anymore.
Meri is finally saying the quiet part out loud. Kody allegedly used her for money, and she didn't distance herself fast enough to stop it. And honestly, the more time she spends away from him, the clearer she's seeing just how bad it was. It's one of those situations where hindsight really is 20/20ths. And now that she's speaking up, it's very telling. Meri's making it crystal clear that she refuses to align herself with people who manipulate and take advantage of others, especially financially. And while she's careful with her wording, it's obvious she's talking about Kody. She even admits she didn't cut ties with him soon enough, which all but confirms that she was being exploited. Even worse, she seems to have known for a while that Kody was making comments about using her for money, but at the time she wasn't in a place to fully accept it. That makes sense, though. When you're still deep in a belief system that teaches loyalty above all else, it's hard to recognize when you're being taken advantage of. But now that she's had time to deprogram and step back, everything is clicking into place. The further she gets from Kody, the more she's able to see the truth for what it is, and she's not sugarcoating it anymore. Looking back, it's crazy how much gaslighting went down. Meri used to defend Kody, deny that he was using her, and even make excuses for him. But now, she's admitting that, yeah, he was exploiting her. It just took time to process and say it out loud. At the end of the day, this is a sign she's healing, and honestly, good for her. Better late than never.
I'll practice polygamy, and I won't. And I will tell you why. Because I don't want to. So we did, live polygamy because that was a religious practice that we subscribed to. And through the years, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I came to the realization that the church that I, at the time, was subscribing to, I did not necessarily believe or want to align myself with all of their practices. But I was already in the family. I was already married. I had a commitment to that. Anyway, but my commitment level to my marriage and to the family was more important than whether or not I still believed or subscribed to a particular religion. And so for that reason, I continued it. And also for that reason, I will choose not to in the future.
Looks like we finally have some confirmation straight from the source. Meri's latest admission lines up perfectly with something I came across online nearly 2 years ago. And it completely changes the narrative around her estrangement from the Brown family. According to what I read, Meri had been distancing herself for years, not just physically, but ideologically. As she expanded her social circle beyond the faith, her beliefs started shifting, making her an outsider in her own family. The Browns, who built their entire identity around polygamy and their religious convictions, allegedly saw Meri's evolving views as a threat. Her acceptance of perspectives that didn't align with their strict beliefs, especially around the LGBTQ+ community, reportedly caused major tension. Specifically, her unwavering support for Leon, her child, put her at odds with Kody and Robyn, leading to heated arguments. Meri's refusal to participate in any discrimination against Leon and other LGBTQ+ family members allegedly made her dangerous in the eyes of the family. Kody even went as far as to brand her unsafe, fearing she would influence others to rethink their own beliefs. On top of all that, there's the contractual obligation to promote polygamy for their show. It was a messy, no-win situation for Meri, stuck between staying loyal to her family and being true to her evolving beliefs. Now, she's finally admitting that she was struggling with her faith long before everything fell apart, and the guilt weighed heavily on her. The fact that she stayed despite her doubts only added to her internal conflict. This revelation isn't just a personal one. It also exposes the deeper control dynamics at play within the family. For years, we've heard Kody and Robyn push the narrative that Meri was problematic, but in reality, she was just outgrowing the role they expected her to play. And now that she's speaking out, it raises the question, how much of the Brown family's unity was ever real, and how much was just for the cameras?
It was because I think that anytime anybody changes what they do, doesn't matter if it's religion, it doesn't matter if it's political, it doesn't matter if it's just who their friend group is. There's a lot of mental and emotional processing of trying to figure out what it is. I know for me, it was what do I believe being me, and without anybody else's thoughts and opinions. Who am I, and what do I believe, and what do I want? So
breaking free from everything you've ever known isn't just scary, it's earth-shattering. That's exactly what happened when she finally walked away from Kody and the world she had been raised in. For years, she lived in an insular community where questioning beliefs wasn't just discouraged, it was practically impossible. Her entire life revolved around the church, where her own parents were in leadership, and her education took place within that same system. There was no room for outside influence, no opportunity to explore different perspectives. But when her relationship with Kody crumbled, something changed. Suddenly, she had space, and being in a city like Las Vegas, surrounded by people from every walk of life, forced her to confront an uncomfortable truth. She had been living in a bubble. For the first time, she was exposed to new ideas, cultures, religions, and political views that made her rethink everything. But walking away from a high-control environment isn't as simple as just leaving. Many of the women in her position had wanted out for years, but the guilt, the shame, and the fear of losing everything held them back. In these groups, leaving doesn't just mean distancing yourself from a belief system. It means losing your entire community. Those who walk away are labeled wicked, lost, even destined for hell. And that's not by accident. The leadership doesn't want former members exposing what's really going on behind closed doors. But now, she's done staying silent. Not only has she publicly stated that she no longer believes in the faith, but she's also revealing how difficult it was to accept that truth within herself. And just when you think that's the most shocking part, she drops a bombshell about Kody and his financial favoritism that left her in tears. For the first time ever, she's addressing what really happened with the so-called art situation, and how Kody's spending habits revealed his true priorities, favoring Robyn while neglecting others. This is something that has never been shared before. And once you hear what went down, you might never look at Kody the same way again.
So one time, there was this artist that I really liked. And I wanted, do you know the story?
I feel like I do.
I wanted one of his pieces of art. So we're driving down, we're in Las Vegas. We go to the store to look at the art. I thought that's what we're doing. We're looking at the art. Well, really, he was making a payment on a piece of art, and I really liked the artist, and he was making payment on it, not for me. And I was like, oh, I love that one, or I'd like this one. He's like, oh, this one I just bought for Robyn. You can go to her house and look at it. Woo!
So, imagine you're on a date with your husband, expecting a romantic stroll through an art gallery, maybe even picking out something fancy for your home. Sounds nice, right? Now, imagine realizing he's not there to buy art for you. He's there to make a payment on a painting he already bought for his favorite wife. Yeah, that's the level of shamelessness we're dealing with when it comes to Kody Brown and his not-so-secret obsession with Robyn. And the worst part, this man wasn't even trying to hide it. According to some insider tea, someone connected to the gallery spilled that Kody was out here dropping serious cash on art. Not for the family, not for all his wives, just for Robyn. And to make it even worse, he was allegedly using credit cards to do it, because nothing screams financial responsibility like going into debt for some overpriced prints that don't even hold real value. Oh, and did I mention this was Vladimir Kush art, the surrealist painter? So, not only was Kody treating Robyn like a queen, but he was doing it with expensive surrealism, which is honestly kind of poetic, considering the delusion required to pull this off. And let's talk about the ultimate disrespect. Kody literally brought another wife to the gallery, and she probably thought, oh, we're looking at art together, maybe picking something out for our home. But nope, this man was just there to make a payment on something he already bought for Robyn. Can you imagine standing there thinking you're having a sweet couples moment, only to realize your husband's just handling business for his concubine? I'd lose my mind. And the craziest part, this isn't even new behavior. It's giving major My Five Wives flashbacks when Brady took one wife on a date to pick out a ring for another wife. These men have zero shame. But let's not forget Robyn's infamous apple versus orange speech, where she tried to act like she wasn't the favorite. That whole, you want someone else's apple, but you already have your own orange nonsense? Girl, be for real. She wasn't just getting an apple, she was getting a whole orchard, while the other wives were out here surviving off bruised bananas. And Kody, he wasn't just favoring her, he was rubbing it in their faces, basically telling the other wives, if you want to see what I got Robyn, You can come to her house and admire it. The audacity! And then came the final straw, Kody's alpha male moment on national TV. When the episode aired where he basically dismissed Meri, saying she needs an alpha but can't be in charge, she was not having it. She reacted exactly how you'd expect a woman who's been pushed aside for years to react: furious, frustrated, and honestly just done. At this point, the favoritism isn't just speculation, it's documented history. And Kody isn't even denying it. He's out here playing favorites in 4K and somehow acting shocked when the other wives finally get sick of it.
I cried. When I saw that he said that, I was up all night. I was so mad. I cried. I did not cry because I was sad because my feelings were hurt. I was pissed.
She mad cries a lot more legit.
So I was awake all night. I mad cried. I told her the next day, and I was not happy about it. And I'm like, I got to tell you something, and you're not going to be happy about it. Blah, 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 blah.
Remember when they decided to keep it civil after their split? Well, turns out that was a total joke. Meri had hopes they could be amicable. No trash talking, no petty back and forth, but things took a dark turn when Kody broke their agreement and started spilling his cruel thoughts. Honestly, the audacity! He went on about how she wouldn't be able to get the type of guy she wanted, then turned around and gave her relationship advice like she didn't have the right to be mad. What? And while Meri's kept things mostly respectful, not stooping to name-calling or dragging Kody and Robyn into her mess, Kody, he went off the rails, berating her in the most unnecessary, hurtful way possible. Like, how disrespectful can you be? The straw that broke the camel's back? Well, after some seriously ugly exchanges, and I mean ugly, Meri realized there was no coming back from this. After all these years of their strained relationship, she had to cut him out of her life for good. And honestly, I don't blame her. Kody's been playing emotional games, flaunting his relationship with Robyn, and even doing things like spending 10 grand on a print for Robyn while telling Meri to get over her jealousy. Talk about playing dirty. This should have been the drama we saw on the show, though. Imagine all those explosive fights and real issues coming to light. Way more interesting than the fluff we got, right? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss out on the latest gossip. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.